Alright, so we kind of hung out and watched some classic horror.
We did. Good stuff.
What about classic horror do you enjoy the most? I know you talked a little bit about music when we were watching those, but what are some of the things that appeal to you about those movies?
I like, besides the music that really, because they, rely on things like dramatized makeup or the music to really set the scene of, like, capture kind of what's happening, of like who the villain is and things like that. I love that. The special effects were actually really good in them too. I like that a lot, and just the drama of the characters that you don't really see. Everything like modern is more like just like modern life, as opposed to a different time. So
I will say we watched Spiral Staircase, which first time watch for both of us, which was
thumbs up.
A great one. Probably, I think the best one I watched classic-wise this weekend.
Yeah.
The Black Cat with Bela Lugosi, which is another great one. And
I'm always a fan of Bela Lugosi.
And I know Cat People's a great one, but people were kind of dozing off during that. So
I may have fell asleep during that one. I don't think it had anything to do with the movie,
No. Had a busy day, so.
It's a long day. We got a lot of stuff in today, though.
Yeah, definitely.
We had a good time.
So, we talked a little bit off video about your introduction to horror, and you said Alien is the first thing you remember watching?
Alien is the first one that I really remember watching, like, when I was a kid, and I was probably, like, 5 or 6. So, I mean, that was a pretty intense movie for a 5 or 6-year-old, but my parents, who were not really into, like, horror movies or anything, that was their, weekend rental, and we all watched it together, so it was a good memory. But yeah, that was my first, like, real horror movie, and it was an epic one, so.
So you knew from that moment on?
Yeah, I loved it. I guess it was, yeah.
I told you that, I think, I'm almost positive Halloween 2 was the first thing that my mom introduced me to, and it was something, it was probably on TV around Halloween time, so that was something that really, especially, and Michael Myers is, my favorite of those slashers, and that kind of got me on the ball to watch the rest.
Nostalgic feel to it, especially like the first.
Yeah.
The first two, the original Halloween series, very nostalgic.
And I remember going to the video store, and they said, no matter what you do, don't rent Halloween 3, because it has nothing to do.
It really doesn't.
But it's a movie that I've come to love.
I love it also.
Yeah, and to me, it's one of those, I'd really like to watch that one Halloween night each year, so.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one, too.
Yeah.
Season of the Witch is great.
What are some of the other, like, not necessarily old classics, but
like
movies people consider horror classics that are your favorites?
I mean, besides Halloween, of course, that's Halloween probably my favorite. The first 3. Third one separate, but still third Halloween. The original, like Nightmare on Elm Street was a good one. Love that one. I love the whole concept of that one, of like in your dreams and that kind of thing. Especially if you're younger, like, nightmares are real.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, all those classics. I'm trying to think, like, I guess it's any of like the Universal ones are really, really older classics, but that, again, like, I love the Universal monster universe world too.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, like the original Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein.
It's a book with all the original, like, classic ones.
The original Mummy is so good too. The Boris Karloff. So,
I've never been a big fan of the Wolfman, and I'm not a huge werewolf movie fan in general, but
I'm not a big Lon Chaney fan either.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of the Wolfman to me.
To me, that's the weakest of that set of movies.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look here at the shelf. Here's a movie. Are you a fan of
Oh, yeah, that's
Candyman. Yeah, I know you spent some time in Chicago, so...
Yeah, Cabrini Green.
Yeah.
I do like Candyman, and I saw the new one that came out, what was it, like a year ago? 2 years ago? I can't remember now.
I got that up there, too.
I thought it was going to be a complete reboot, and it wasn't. It was like, you really did need to know the backstory. It was okay. There are parts of it that I liked, and there are other parts I didn't love. I don't know.
I know some people that really hate that movie. You know who you are. But it kind of surprised me because everyone expected it to be really bad, and I enjoyed it enough. So
yeah, there are parts of it that I always say, like, I'm more of a fan than a critic anyway. So even if it wasn't like that good, there's always something in there that it's like, I saw that.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it reminded me of it, but I really like the Jeepers Creepers series too. So at least like the first two.
The first two, are definitely solid.
Yeah.
I try to put the guy's past behind him because he had the whole controversy. You know that story, right? He went to prison for molesting a boy, I believe it was, on a previous movie. So. Oh,
like real life person? Oh, I don't know. I try not to know people's lives. Isn't that terrible? And it ruins everything.
At times, I try to separate the person from the art, and
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially once you've already seen it. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, definitely.
I know that.
Yeah, it's there's people do crazy things out there, so you never know.
That's true. That's just what you hear about.
So when it comes to watching movies now, do you, obviously with your background, do you kind of lean towards checking that stuff out first? The kind of possession or ghostly type things? I know you're a big Conjuring and Insidious fan.
Yeah, so. Paranormal horror tends to be my favorite, although a lot of it, and that's because, I'm a spirit medium, and so I kind of look for like the ring of truth in a lot of things, and so it's interesting to me. Yeah, we were talking about Conjuring and Insidious have been a couple of my favorite series, but because they both revolve around like one of the main characters being psychics, and a lot of things that they say or things that happen are things that I've actually experienced or things that I know to be true. So I'm kind of, I see it, and it's like I recognize that, and it's like, oh, I'm not alone, because I don't know where else to see it, and it's of course more dramatized and stuff like that, but then there's a lot of things that are just way out ridiculous and not even true at all. You know what I mean? And I still enjoy. Yeah. But yeah, I do tend to gravitate toward more paranormal horror. But I mean, I love across the board pretty much.
Well, I thought it was interesting how you were telling me that when it came to like Stranger Things and Insidious, you felt like they got some things right.
Yeah. So we were talking about like different dimensions, which both of those series kind of deal with different dimensions and like how I'm able to see certain things, because I do have some clairvoyance, which is psychic sight, and I sometimes make a lot of videos where I'm talking to spirits or ghosts, and the reasons why they didn't cross over and things, and one of the reasons is they have a black door. So when their door opens, it's black, which means that they did something very bad, and that black door leads to a place of punishment, as they should be. But through that door is a dimension that looks very similar to the Upside Down in Stranger Things, which also looks very similar to the Further in the Insidious series. There's differences, but it's like dark and gray and shadowy, and there's always like floating kind of like ash and stuff in the air. So whenever I saw that, I feel like, oh, they must have a reference. Somebody else must know something,
Yeah.
So it's interesting for me too.
Well, beyond the dimension side of things, are there any other movies you feel like got things really right, or maybe on the other side really wrong?
Really wrong. I think, as far as, like, wrong, I think that's such broad, that's most of
That
them.
could- yeah, right.
But I feel like anything that has to do with, like, ghosts haunting a place, but they're really violent or malicious, that's not how ghosts are, or ghosts really aren't even really strong enough or capable of doing those things. If something like that is happening, it's not a ghost.
Okay.
It would be a demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it's like, we have a fear of the unknown, and it's fun to be scared sometimes.
Sure.
So, I mean, I totally get it. It's, like, spooky. But, yeah, most of the time, like, ghosts, that's not a thing. A lot of times movies that have anything to do with Ouija board, it's very, like, because I talk to people about Ouija boards and how I use them to pull spirits through to talk to them.
Right.
And, as soon as you say Ouija board, they're like, don't touch that.
Right.
And it's like, well, I understand. It's just a tool.
Yeah, there is a huge stigma out there when it comes to that.
Yeah, because there's so many movies about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it is just a tool, and it, you want to use them with caution. It's like a power tool or a power drill, power saw or something. And, you want to make sure you know how to use it.
Sure.
And how to use it properly. So that's what I tell people as far as Ouija boards.
Cool.
But, yeah, true things, it's just hit or miss.
Yeah.
It depends. But those are some that are Conjuring, Insidious, not the religious aspect in Conjuring, by the way, but some of the other things.
Yeah. Did you ever see Ouija, what is it, Ouija 2?
I've seen a few. There's
that was
so
like
many remade, or so
one
many.
of the good ones for most people, so I don't know how true that was, but...
and I probably have seen it, and I don't remember
there's
it specifically.
When you use that generic word, there's so many movies that
there's
use
like
the
Ouija
name.
Amityville. And
Don't even get me started on the Amityville.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
400.
I don't... Exactly. I don't remember.
Well, we also have some hot sauce here, so I think we'll just intermingle a taste test between questions. So.
We're talking about our love of hot things and hot sauce, so we decided we needed to do the...
we're not a stranger to hot stuff on this channel.
Hot sauce challenge.
So I'm going to kind of go in order of heat, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to take a drink first already.
Yeah, clear the palate.
Exactly.
And the first one is a poblano jalapeno. By the way, these are all from the Tennessee Hot Sauce Company. Get it a little closer. And this is the most mild one that I have.
Does it have like a little indicator?
I'm trying
a little
to see
thermometer or something?
Yeah, there's a little scale here, and it's kind of 2 out of 5.
It's in the green still.
Yeah.
We're safe.
It's not bad. It's a Verde sauce.
Okay.
So, I'll let you...
Did I bring a spoon? Did I leave my spoon? Oh, wait. Here it is. I got it. Okay. I was like, what did I do with it?
I'll set that there. Get a little bit here, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay. What you got there? Okay.
Yeah. A good sample. And then we'll rate these, or I'll let you, I've had these also. I'll let you give a 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
Okay.
On flavor.
Okay.
Not really heat.
I know. I love the flavor.
Here we go.
Tasty. Actually, really, really good.
It is really good. Mm-hmm. I think all these
Not
are pretty good.
Not super spicy. Super tasty, though.
Yes. So.
I would probably put this one on and then layer it with another a little bit hotter.
Right.
But good flavor.
So I guess in between these, I'm going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hit subgenres of horror.
Okay.
And so we'll first start with the slasher movies. What are some of your favorite slashers of all time?
I mean, again, Halloween, gosh, it's such a go-to. Yeah, I mean, like the classic, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, all of those are always fun slashers.
You a fan of, I like some of the ones like, why am I drawing a blank?
I know.
My Bloody Valentine, that's a
good
fun one.
That is a good one. I'm trying to think of any other that really stick out. I mean, sometimes body horror tends to like be my least favorite, although I really enjoy like the Saw series because some of those kills are just really, really good that you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Did they fall off for you, or did you kind of enjoy them throughout the whole series?
No, they fell off a little bit, and then I kind of picked them back up and then tried to go back. I don't know that there might be a couple in the middle that I haven't seen, but I'm like with the whole storyline enough to know. Like I saw the last one, and then I'm gonna see the new one when it comes out. So the last one was Jigsaw, I guess.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that was
it. The last one? This one's X.
Or no, Spiral.
Spiral. Yeah. Spiral. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that I saw in theater. I'll see this one too.
Okay.
Because I kind of like picked it up. I'm interested again.
Yeah.
Did you see Spiral?
I didn't. I kind of wanted to because I thought it looked kind of like almost like a Law and Order.
There's a few
Saw movie. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
Let's see what we got. Try to find the right order here. I think several of them are in the similar range. Okay. Well, these 3 are right in the middle. We'll start with garlic habanero.
Habanero is usually my favorite, so
I'll give everyone a view of that. And habanero is an interesting pepper because we ate the habanero on the channel one time, a few of us, and it's, a really stingy burn.
Was it a fresh one?
Yes. And but this has that stingy burn. These habanero sauces, I think there's 3 of them that are habanero.
Oh, good.
So, all right, again, 1 out of 10. Try it.
Really good. Oh, it's really tasty too. I also love garlic, so
yeah,
it's good for the breath.
Yeah. Good thing we're chasing the others after this one.
Oh yeah, that one's real good.
Yeah.
Good job, Tennessee Hot Sauce Company.
TennesseeHotSauceCompany.com. I think, I don't know. I don't remember their website.
Yeah.
A little more burn on that one.
Both are really good so far.
So we talked about...
Do you have a favorite
series
of all time?
I mean, the Halloween series.
I know,
they're bad at the end, but
it's not, because it's still the Halloween series.
Yeah, anytime it's Michael Myers, even...
Yes, I agree.
Even the turd that is Halloween Ends, I'll buy it.
I saw it, I'm not gonna lie. Kills I saw in the theater. Halloween Ends I saw on Peacock. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah. I actually saw Kills on Peacock, and then I went to the theater after and saw it again.
Did you?
So, it wasn't my favorite, but I like it better than Ends for sure. But I think the most solid series across the board is probably Friday the 13th. Those are all fun.
I think they're all fun too. Yeah, I really love the concept of like nightmares and like not being able to sleep, and that's how miserable is that?
Yeah.
To try and keep yourself awake, and I don't know. It's a fun series for sure.
You talked about liking Jeepers Creepers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk to that.
I know I can't either.
It's the habanero. Any other favorite creature feature type movies?
Oh, that's a good one. Let me think about that.
I'll shake up the next bottle while you're thinking.
Yeah, I know. And listen, and like I'm probably missing some really good ones too.
The next one, which will be Honey Habanero.
Oh, that sounds good too. I know, we talked about not even really liking Wolfman that much, although I've seen like so many versions of Werewolf of London. I mean, it's such a classic. Even like Creature from the Black Lagoon, again.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Those. Yeah, I like those a lot. Reminds me of like, it wasn't really horror, but like Shape of Water.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is kind of like Creature.
I have to look here.
The Black Lagoon. I don't know if it qualifies as creature feature, but like the Alien series.
Yeah.
You know, with the...
Yeah, that could kind of qualify. I guess Jaws would count.
Yeah. I've definitely seen the first two.
Which Jaws is my, when anyone asks my favorite movie, period, I always say Jaws.
Yeah. Like Arachnophobia. That was a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of those I tend to like just skip over because.
Well, they can definitely be hit or miss, and they can be cheesy, really cheesy at times if they're.
Some of them are more like Alien, though. I'm trying to think of like the. Yeah, but speaking of which, Predator and Alien, those are both really good series.
Yeah.
Those have kind of held up over time, too. I really like the Predator, like there's whole backstory and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
It's like a species and everything.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's go to honey habanero.
Okay.
And give it a try. Still tasting the garlic from the last one.
I'm not mad.
No. This one's a little runny, so be careful.
Okay. It is runny. Okay.
Give it a good shake, too.
Yeah.
I'll hang on to it.
Okay, here.
You want to put the... Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, here we go.
Also really good. A little more heat. Like the two habaneros definitely have more heat, but still a lot of flavor.
I love the garlic one too, but this one's almost a little smoother. Mm-hmm. You know. So
yeah, I like it. I like them both. Nice.
It is a little.
And if you're not big on the garlic, then definitely the honey one.
I'm excited for you to try the last one. That's going to be I think it's a really great one. It's hot, but it's really good.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's see, vampire movies. I know we talked earlier today about some of your favorites, but Lost Boys being... Is it the favorite?
Lost Boys is my favorite. Yeah, Lost Boys is like one of my top 5 movies of all time. But I particularly love vampire movies, and we talked about some really good ones. There's like a billion I haven't seen, and I've seen, a billion. So, but... Not all of them are great, but Lost Boys definitely. It's more than just like the vampire. It's like the music's so good, and like it's more like an alternative culture.
And it's definitely of its time when it came out. The two Coreys and
the two Coreys, yes, the Frog Brothers, like exactly, iconic actors, obviously.
Yeah. And I talked to you about Fright Night, being such a fan of that one.
Also one of my favorites.
That's like the story that's been redone so many times because it's like Rear Window from Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And Disturbia did it, and so it's really
also
the same.
Also a good movie though.
Yeah, Disturbia. But it's always done well. I feel like that whole thing is done well. So
Fright Night's good, and we talked about Let the Right One In.
Yes.
And there's a foreign version, and then there's an American version. Yeah. Both of them are good. I like both of them.
Yeah, I've heard good things
Slightly different.
Sometimes that American version isn't as good, but
sometimes it's...
I know people like that one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the American version isn't as good, but it's also depends on if it's, like, subtitled or, you know what I mean, how easy it is to watch, but they're both good. And
it kind of reminds me of The Ring. A lot of people love that American version, too. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
I also want to shout out, I know I've got it up here somewhere.
We also both watched Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, yes. And you thought it was alright?
I thought it was alright. Yeah, I have actually read the book, and I feel like they did a great job at, like, being accurate to that story, but I also felt like that was the boring part of the book.
Well, you think they jazzed up that boring part, though, for that?
I think it was more exciting to, like, see it. Yeah, to see it, like, played out as opposed to just, written. Because, like, the horrors that were written about in the captain's log, you actually got to experience was cool. There was definitely some, like, suspenseful, scary spots, but
I
want to see more Dracula.
Yeah, definitely.
So, that's all.
And Dracula is a character. I remember before we had a VCR in the house, we were in a VCR at the library.
Oh, yeah.
I was young, and I got to pick out a movie we were going to rent, and I got the old Bela Lugosi Dracula first time watching it.
Did you like it the first time you saw it?
I did, just because it was different, It was monsters.
I love, like, when he's standing there in that staircase and, like, the huge spider web that just spans the whole... And that classic line of, like, creatures of the night, you
know? I would say 95% of people, when you say the word Dracula, they picture Bela
Lugosi.
So.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Like I said, I love Bela Lugosi, whether he's playing a vampire or not. In my book, the real man, Bela Lugosi, he's a vampire for sure. They're real.
Oh,
he's one.
Yeah. And you're a fan too of the Gary Oldman.
I do.
Movie,
I like that movie a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of like elements of original book kind of, but then there's a lot of things that aren't, which I think almost make it better anyway. But I think Gary Oldman did a really good job in that. A lot of great actors. The music is iconic and just very cinematic.
Well, I'm giving you homework. You got to track down the 79 with Frank Langella.
Okay.
You got to
find
and watch.
You know what? I'm sure that's streaming somewhere, and I've seen it, and it's just one of those that I'm like, is it going to be good? I don't know. So I'll find it.
Donald Pleasance from Halloween is in it. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Will do.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Yes. Be sure and do that.
Okay.
Pineapple habanero.
I'm excited. All the habanero. So good.
Yes. I forget what the other one is other than that last one. I'm starting to feel this in my stomach too, but we got 3 left.
I still just feel it in
Not
my
good.
mouth, so.
Alright, I got the... Alright, here we
Pineapple.
go.
Really good. Very tropical.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like Jamaican jerk kind of a little bit.
Yeah. Would go well on something like that.
I don't know if it's any more heat than the last one or 2.
Well, the last 3 have been the same.
Have been, okay.
Like, right, 3 out of 5.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, they're all habanero, so. Yeah, similar in heat. Really good flavors still.
Alright, so let's see. What can I do with
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite paranormal horror?
Yeah.
Or are you not as into them as much?
Suspiria. Dario Argento.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite. It's a beautiful movie. I guess along that line, what are your thoughts on the Hellraiser series?
Hellraiser? I have not seen all of them. I kind of lost interest like after the 3rd one. I don't know
That's
why.
kind of where everyone is. I think.
Good. I feel so bad then.
Yeah.
I like it. The first one's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and the second one kind of just picks up where the first one left off a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the concept a lot. There's nothing in it that's like real that I can relate to, but it is pretty cool concept.
So it doesn't fall in with the further or anything? There's no pinhead
there's nothing like that. Thank goodness.
Other dementia.
Thank goodness. I'm glad to report there's something like that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of terrifying.
I like the like really dark, like industrial, almost like BDSM kind of aspect to it. I like that. There's not a whole lot of like films, mainstream, at least as far as horror, that's kind of dips in that world that is anything notable, but that one is. That's good.
Do you have any movies that you feel are kind of like horror adjacent that you really love? Like one that I really love, I think falls in that category, is Seven.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love like The Crow.
Oh yeah.
That's probably like my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
But I would definitely think it's kind of in that horror world, but it's not necessarily like scary.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I have a lot of films like that. Like I love like Spawn was really good. That's my favorite. Great soundtrack. I love like Quinn the Damned, also vampire movie.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
My mouth is
Read
on fire.
the book. Vampires, so it's kind of horror, but it's more of like a storyline too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next up, we got Blood Orange Ghost.
Ghost Pepper. Okay, I can do some Ghost Pepper.
This one ranks 4 out of 5. So.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Another kind of runny one.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Good. Still good flavor.
Like the orange?
Mm-hmm. It's good. I'm waiting for the heat. Is it gonna like slap me in the face? I'm not sure.
It's already got my nose running and I'm about to start sweating here.
I feel it. It's building a little bit.
Yeah.
But it still tastes really good.
It does. And they all taste good.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you said. Because some heat is just pure punishment. There's no flavor.
Yeah.
There's no flavor involved.
Well, like I was talking about that bomb, and you've done the one chip challenge.
The one chip challenge was one of those. I was really excited because I thought it was going to be tasty. No, it's just an explosion.
It's the least thing it is.
Yeah, like add some flavor to that.
Because they can do.
I need a bag of them.
They can do hot things and have good flavor to them. So
yeah.
So yeah.
You gotta hit that sweet spot. This is still good though.
So you have any favorite? What's your favorite horror comedy? I know that's a weird genre.
I know, because you know what? I'll say I hate comedies in general.
Okay.
But I like things that are funny. It's just things that are meant to be funny I don't find funny. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about this earlier, and I really like What We Do in the Shadows. So you can say that's a really good horror comedy. I like Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I saw the new one. That one was it was decent. But obviously the first one,
right.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've seen, like, Shaun of the Dead.
I think this one falls in Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead, yeah. There we go. I've seen that.
That's probably mine, so.
Yeah, not my favorite genre, though. Because I watch horror movies to be, I've seen, like, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but it was with Nicolas Cage, and it was, like, animatronics. And
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, he didn't have a spoken word in the whole movie, but there was a lot of comedy in that, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like Nicolas Cage. He's weird.
Oh, yeah. He's so weird. He's great.
Yeah. In the best kind of way.
Anytime he's got some weird concept going, I'm like, yeah, I got to see that.
I'll be into that. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Last one is Mustard Dill Scorpion.
Mustard Dill Scorpion.
And I'm going to go light on this because I'm feeling
You already know. That one got my mouth burning, so.
Yeah.
Not terrible, though. I just maybe, like, want a chip to go with it.
That would probably help.
Yeah.
I'm going to take just a little bit.
Okay.
I've had a lot of this.
I'm gonna follow you on that. I loaded my spoon up on the last one, which is okay. It wasn't bad.
A lot thicker,
It's kind of
actually.
thick. It's kind of like almost got a chunk to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Remember to wash your hands afterwards.
Yeah, I
Just
will.
in case.
All right, here we go.
Okay. I like the mustard dill.
Mm-hmm. Woo.
They're all really tasty.
They are.
They actually all have really good flavor. I'm surprised. I thought that last one for sure wasn't going to taste good. But it does.
It's a weird sounding combination.
The dill, because it's like pickle.
Right.
It's got pickles in it. That's where the chunk comes from. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Not terrible at all.
All right. I guess the last movie question I'll ask is, I'm sure you have your favorites, but what do you think is the best? Not necessarily your favorite. What do you think is the best horror movie of all time?
Oh my gosh, that's such a terrible question to ask.
That's why
the best horror movie of all time. I haven't even seen them all. Like, man, not my favorite. Probably Halloween.
I think so.
I mean, I know I've said Halloween for a lot of my answers, but there's a reason for that, and I feel like it's been going for forever, for so long. The series. And they killed it, maybe, or did they?
I would say the movie that I watched it over and over, and it's still burning here. I watch it over and over, and every time I watch it, I like it more each time.
Yeah.
Is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not my favorite genre of movie.
No.
Because slasher and body horror tends to not be my favorite, but definitely a classic. Did you like the remake?
It's okay.
Yeah.
A little too polished, for me, or fake dirty.
I felt it was a little like that too, and I get like you're trying to make it modern and make it like relatable to a different generation, but
yeah,
it was a little. Yeah, there were parts in it though that were really good. There's some good kills that I was like,
oh yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I want to thank you for talking movies and burning your mouth up.
Yeah, thank you for having
so.
It's on fire now a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a smoldery fire.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about what you're doing these days and where people can find you?
Yep. Seanceweather.org is where you can find me. I'm also on TikTok. You can find me under Seance Weather. And I do paranormal videos. I do psychic readings, and I do seances. I'm spirit medium, so everything I do has to do with spirit communication and contact. So you can find me there if you want to do personal reading. I do them over video or in person if you happen to be local. But that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.